Hi, jumping into today's aftermarket analysis journal. Today is May 28th, 2024. So getting into it, we basically had one trade that was taken on the day, which wasn't the best. And now the more that I start to look at it, there was definitely a few mistakes, even though we did hit take profit on it. And then there was one no entry and one missed opportunity, which we will get into right now. So getting into it in the day. Obviously, the bias is bullish as we have been trading past all-time highs or near all-time highs, basically. And so, yeah, until a higher time frame confirmation or anything else shows that we are bearish, every day is pretty much just going to be bullish. So, coming in the day, we had news before 10, so didn't want to place a trade before that. After 10, we had this run up. Couldn't take anything here as there was too many fair value gaps. Although it would have been nice as it kind of was as soon as 10 a.m. open, it was an open low, high close. But yeah, no entry of sort because of how many fair value gaps were in this leg down. Then coming into this, we had an SMT, came down. This left a bullish SMT, and we had all these levels of interest up here, equal highs, 15 minute. And so, wanted to look for that. The highest fair value gaps in the leg were 2 minutes, and there was two of them. So if there's multiple in the leg, you gotta wait for the last one to get inversed. So the first one ended up getting inversed, and then by the time the second one got inversed, the point of between my break even and where the entry would have been 4 points. So I couldn't take it by that time. It was already too late to take an entry. But yeah, it did end up running up, almost taking out take profit before coming back down, tapping into discount, and then hitting the take profit for a 40-point move. So yeah, that was a no entry here. This is really nothing. Was just watching price after this, coming back on the charts for a little bit, but this was between lunch hour and then after that, coming into the PM session. This is where I wanted to see price pick up because as I forgot to mention, price I didn't expect much from today, and coming after around after yeah like basically 11:30, um, price was not very good coming into lunch hour. Which I mean anything after this time anyways, I'm not really going to look to take an entry, but it still should be a little better than this. And that's just because we had a bank holiday yesterday being Memorial Day. So yeah, I wasn't really expecting much from price today. But then coming into the PM session, that's where I wanted to see volume pick up potentially, and that's exactly what we got. Um, I don't exactly know why, but I know in the back of my head I kept saying it around this time. This is where I just wanted to see shorts. I don't know. I honestly cannot really remember why the bias is for that now thinking about it. But early in the day or around the PM session is where I did want to see shorts. And but then I ended up, which we'll get into in a sec. But yeah, I did want to see shorts, but 2 p.m. we came down, started to come up, so I wanted to see, the a 2 p.m. open, manipulation higher. Um, and we had a longer time frame SMT, and you know, as this is happening, I just with all this chop and just because the bias of why I was saying like back then during this time that I wanted to go lower, I wasn't too confirmed on this trade. I was hesitating a little bit to even place this, and I ended up placing it. I did want to keep risk small, about 10 points, as well as take profit small, which, and then my break even was the central high. And then this was the target. I don't want to say what that is yet. But this honestly could have been the target right here, these highs. But yeah, basically, I wanted this to be the target, being a 15-minute tap into rebounds. But now, looking at it, the 15-minute, there was no 15-minute. The 15-minute that I had drawn out was still on the 15-minute candle that was in play. So yeah, there was no 15-minute. And but there was a 5 minute, but that's what it would have been. It would have been a 5 minute uh, tap back into a 5 minute range. So yeah, that was one mistake that I didn't catch. So thankfully it wasn't a range, but yeah, it was in a 5 minute fair value gap or inbounds. And then really I could have probably targeted these highs for a few more points, but I mean I'll take it there as again that was a tap into a 5 minute on a 15 minute. But yeah, then after that, oh, and sorry, another mistake too is okay, so I wanted to see, like I said, an internal con confirmation like this SMT, and then inverse fair value gap like always. But the one thing I didn't realize till later is that this that I took the entry off of. Now, was there higher time frame fair value gaps in the leg? Yes, that's also why this wasn't A plus by any means. As we can see here, there's a 4 minute. I think there's a 5 minute. It keeps going. So there was definitely a higher time frame for value gap in the leg to be at invert. Obviously, I couldn't have waited till that because we would have already tapped into the 5 minute and taken out this high by that time and my break even point and whatnot. So, but I was kind of somewhat confident that we were gonna come up and tap into it. So that's why I decided to try it off the 1 minute. And uh my entry got scuffed also by a little bit, by like 2 points. Nothing I can really control sometimes. That wasn't the mistake. The mistake was is that this fair value gap had already gotten inversed before then getting disrespected, which I didn't even realize at the time that I had taken the entry. So yeah, there was a couple mistakes in this trade, being that, and then also realizing that this was a 5 minute, not a 15 minute. So yeah, although it was a win, was it a good trade? No. Now looking, especially looking more into detail of it, as I would say it was pretty lucky that I didn't get stopped. So yeah, I mean, we are up on the day because of it, but was it a good trade by any means? No, not really. Um, but now coming into the last thing, which would have been the an amazing trade on the day if I could have realized it. But once we had got into after the take profit, really is when I kind of noticed, but I was so like focused on the fact that I already taken a W on the day that I wasn't looking for any opportunities. And it was so close by that it was around once we took out this take profit, um, the entry would have been at 212, which my take profit had been taken at '07. So yeah, it would have been it was like 5 minutes apart after I had already hit my take profit on my trade. So I wasn't really looking for another opportunity. But we ended up coming down and inversing a 6 minute, which now when I realized that this was accumulation, manipulation, and then the distribution move after coming back in, tapping into this 5 minute and taking this high, which is what I wanted to see, which I don't. Again, I was just so keen on the fact that I had already like taken a win that I wasn't looking for the opportunity, but this was the opportunity that I literally wanted on a higher time frame to play out. So I really don't understand how I missed it. But another thing too is like I can't say for sure if I would have taken on the 6 minute, but that was the fair value gap that I got inverse, especially because after the inversion, it was already 5 points away. But again, if I would have taken this and just kept my risk as much as I would have been up on the day, I would have only been in, let's see, like 3 points of drawdown. That was the highest points of drawdown I would have been in. My break even would have been this internal low. And yeah, it would have just been a straight dump down. Now, while I didn't notice it till I had already taken out, or till Price had already taken out what would have been my break even point. So obviously by this time it was too late to enter. But also, I don't know exactly where my take profit would have been. I did draw it all the way down to this was AM lows, and then this was previous session Asian lows. Um, I you know I don't know if I could have held all the way there. Who knows? Because was also marking D's out on the chart. But again, hindsight, would I've held possibly just because I would have seen how price would have reacted taking out these lows, and then I wouldn't have really cared about this until the most significant I would have cared about was this, and then between that and there is like 5 points. But as soon as we had taken this sell side out, we had also taken the one right below it in the same candle. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I would have held there. Maybe I would have taken off here. But anyways, I didn't take the entry, so it doesn't matter. But what matters is the fact that I should have been more aware and seen that this was what I was literally wanting to play out, and ended up playing out for a 70-point move, which would have been a crazy like 1 to 6 R. So yeah, that is pretty much it for today. We are up on the day, but was the trade good? No. But that's why I'm journaling, is to go back and look on that and see that it was a couple mistakes made. Did it end up making money? Yeah. It doesn't mean it was a good trade. No. So definitely good that I also caught that and was able to document this. But yeah, besides that, I'll see you guys in either tomorrow or sometime this week's aftermarket analysis journal. See ya.